Good afternoon. I'm obviously the creative guy. What I wanted to do is share with you what a company like Intel is doing to embrace and engage new consumers in this new digital era. So if you think back 20 years ago, technology was not pervasive in your life. None of you had a cell phone. Most of you didn't have a PC. In fact, a PC was a pretty intimidating and scary thing to go purchase. And so Intel created the Intel Inside program. And the whole idea of the program was to tell you, the consumers, those of you that are old enough to remember it, it's okay, this PC is the best PC because it has Intel Inside. And it was a very one-way communication. We ran TV ads, we ran print ads, your occasional billboard, etc. Now the interesting thing is, if you think about Intel and what we do, we're all about democratizing technology and making technology available to the masses so you can unleash your potential. Well, when you do that, we suddenly created over 1 billion connected consumers who had technology. Those consumers got online, they started talking to each other, they said, you know what, I don't want to listen to your TV and print ad. I'm going to talk to my friends and family. So what the Intel Inside program created was a whole new set of consumers who no longer wanted to listen to the Intel Inside message, if you think about it. The irony is we kind of obsoleted the original idea of the program. And so for those of us then at Intel, the question was, how can we connect with a consumer in a way that is relevant to them so they will listen? Because obviously the one-way communication wasn't going to work. And what we decided was we somehow had to get people passionate about our brand and almost view us as like a friend. You were a friend. Think of the best brands in the world, Nike, Apple. They have that compassion and that energy with their consumers. And the question for us was, how do we get there? We decided we needed to move from the rational to the emotional. And most technologies and companies in the world are guilty of the rational. It's about gigahertz, it's about speed, it's about numbers. But that isn't what creates long-term bonding. It's the emotional piece of it. And so we actually turned to neuroscience, believe it or not. In the last 10 years, scientists have learned more about how the human brain makes decisions and stores information than in all of humankind combined. And whether you're aware of it or not, about 90% of your decisions are made subconsciously. You have billions of bits of information stored back here in your head. And oftentimes when you think you're making a rational decision based on information, you're actually just justifying what your brain has already decided. And there's no two companies that know this any better than Coke and Pepsi. If you take 2 glasses of cola, put them next to each other, and I have to ask this room which is better, a little over half of you would choose Pepsi. Your taste buds say this one tastes better. I put a bottle of Coke and a bottle of Pepsi next to those 2 glasses and then perform the exact same experiment. Half of the people that chose Pepsi are going to now tell me they choose Coke, which makes no sense because your taste buds said you like Pepsi better. But that's some sort of connection stored in your brain that Coke has gotten you to believe that Coke is better than Pepsi. And so that's what we said we wanted to do. So using the insights with some pretty innovative companies, and you can see that woman there on your left, they actually put a little probe on your head. And we can see when some piece of marketing or messaging or tagline resonates both in the area where emotions occur in your brain as well as where you have memory stored. And what we're looking for is to create an emotional connection in the long-term memory storage. So what have we done? And that's really what I wanted to show you, and I brought a lot of show and tell. Performance. We exist always to create new, faster, better processors, deliver more performance. We've talked about it in the past, the gigahertz, megahertz, and numbers. It turns out that you people in real consumer land don't think that way. When we ask people to describe performance, they talk about being in the flow, or to use a sports analogy, in the zone. You're just focused, and there's no distractions, and you're just high performing. And so we took some of these insights, and for our newest processor at the beginning of this year with our launch, we created a very different marketing piece. Now I'm going to show you, this was a viral piece targeted at early adopters right at the beginning of launch. You're going to notice there's no gigahertz, there's no megahertz, there's no numbers, or anything like that. It was really trying to tap into some of the insights that we saw. So I'm going to go and play that for you. We have sound? Thank you.
like never before. Only with the second generation Intel Core i5 processor.
So you can see very... we call that the bong, by the way. True story, we do. You can see very different than the traditional advertising megahertz speeds and feeds. And part of the success of that video is over half the people that viewed it ended up sharing it with friends. And that's when you know you've made a connection with the consumer, that something you've done they're so interested in that they want to share it with their friends. We didn't do any promotion of that other than put it up on Facebook, put it on our page, and tweet about it. And that's all we did. And so still going and widely successful. As we moved the campaign into the next phase where we wanted to reach more mainstream users, we said, how can we get people engaged so that they're passionate about what we're doing? And one of the ways to do it is to get them to participate into something. So we created this program called Visual Life. And in a bunch of countries around the world, we had people submit photos and videos of their visual life. And we left it as simple and open as that. So this next video I'm going to show you is 100% user-generated content. We've just done a compilation video of it.
We love our sunrises and our sunsets, our dramatic skies and rolling landscapes. We love our friends and our families. We love our close-ups and we love to get close. We love to laugh and cry. We love to sing and dance. We love our special moments and our special effects. We love falling in love and falling in general. We love our famous places and pulling funny faces. We love our cats, dogs, and the occasional squirrel. We love to capture, upload, share, and enjoy. And we love to make that possible.
So again, very different than what you would expect from traditional campaign. And I can't tell you how hard it is with a very engineering-oriented company and a very engineering-oriented executive staff to get things like this through. Which brings me to my third example, which was the hardest to get our executives through. Youth. Youth, especially in emerging markets, are our growth engine for the future. Youth did not grow up without cell phones or PCs, and they're not nearly as familiar with Intel. And so in the end of 2009, beginning of 2010, we said, how can we engage youth and really make them passionate about the brand? Because they are our future. And so we partnered with a company called Vice, and Vice does magazine publishing, website publishing, they produce, they're a media company, they do a little bit of everything, but the one thing they do really well is they target the 18 to 25-year-old crowd. And they're a little bit edgy too. So here you go, got conservative Intel with super edgy Vice. And we did a pilot in 2009, and we blew it out then in 2010. It's called the Creators Project. And the idea behind the Creators Project is don't go try to tell you something. What are they passionate about? They're passionate about arts, they're passionate about music. And so we went and got a bunch of cutting edge, kind of indie, below the radar artists in music, film, and just physical arts, much like you see here at night with the Vivid Festival. We created websites, profiled these guys, and then we did 6 events around the world. And I'm going to show you a compilation video of what some of that looked like.
So many ideas are really only made possible by technology.
There's an emotional connection with the technology and the experience, and I think that's really important.
Eu acho que a tecnologia é só uma ponte, é uma porta, tá ligado? Ela abre, é uma possibilidade.
Inspired by how technology has revolutionized the arts and creativity, Vice and Intel partnered to found a new type of arts initiative for a new world. The Creators Project. The Creators Project unites leading and emerging artists, designers, musicians, and filmmakers who are using technology to push the bounds of creative expression. Launched in 2010, the project includes a digital platform, documentary profiles of more than 100 artists from the US, China, Brazil, UK, France, Germany, and Korea, and an international event series that features top bands, original artworks, films, and panel discussions. In just 1 year, the Creators Project has become a cultural phenomenon. Tens of thousands attended the events, and the content was viewed over 55 million times.
Not only do we want to broadcast things that are happening, we actually want to make things.
In 2011, we will dramatically expand, transforming from a celebration of creativity into a true patron of the arts. We are launching a studio to produce and distribute new works from artists representing a cross-section of creative disciplines. The studio levels the playing field by giving young innovators access to resources, new technology, and a worldwide audience of millions. The first works will debut this April at the Coachella Music Festival, where we are radically reinventing the festival experience, and then travel to Europe, Asia, Brazil, and back to the US. We are also premiering the Creators Project TV series, which will feature in-depth video segments on some of the most influential artists of today. And finally, our event series will expand to multiple days and visit destinations across the world. The Creators Project in 2011 will continue our global cultural movement, empowering artists to push creativity to a new level.
So there were two really key learnings there. I don't know if you guys noticed how little Intel branding there was there. However, when we measure the results, it's absolutely amazing. And what we learned is that if you want to engage that audience and you provide content that they're passionate about, they give you credit for actually delivering it. You don't need to slap your logo and tell them all about your products. It's been really amazing. And this, just to put one more fine point on it, that studio thing, this was a marketing program for us, and it was really successful in 2010. At the beginning of 2011, Vice came to us and said, we have artists from all over the world knocking on our door. They want to be in the Creators Project. And we're doing studio to fund and to give technology to some new up-and-coming artists around the world. And we're suddenly sitting here, what we thought was a marketing program, we now have the potential to be a producer and distributor of music and art. And frankly, we don't know what to do with it yet, but we have literally turned ourselves into producer and distributors of music and art through a program because we're being authentic and we're engaging people in things they're passionate about. So hopefully those three ideas give you an idea of the way we're changing, the way we communicate with people and trying to be more engaging and create an emotional connection with people. And as we sit around the marketing table and brainstorm what are we going to do next for the next year, I wanted to leave you with one quote from one of our founders, Robert Noyce, because I think it really sums up what we try to embody every day. And that's, don't be encumbered by history, go off and do something wonderful. Thank you.